In a village overshadowed by vast mountains and lush valleys, there stood an ancient tree known for its ability to whisper wisdom to those who were patient enough to listen. This tree, with its gnarled branches and vibrant leaves, was said to be as old as time itself, and it was known simply as the Whispering Tree. Among the villagers, there was a young monk named Jiro, known for his inquisitive nature and relentless quest for enlightenment. Jiro had heard stories of the Whispering Tree from the old monks in the monastery. One chilly morning, driven by his ever-present thirst for understanding, Jiro decided to visit the tree. He hoped to decipher the murmurs and whispers that emanated from its leaves, believing that it would endow him with profound wisdom. Jiro reached the foot of the towering tree after a long walk through the winding forest paths. The sun had just begun to spread its golden hues across the sky, casting a magical glow over the tree. He sat down in the lotus position, closed his eyes, and calmed his breathing, ready to receive the wisdom he so earnestly sought. Hours turned into days and days into weeks. Villagers occasionally passed by, some stopping to offer food and water, witnessing the steadfast monk embracing the solitude and silence of his vigil. Yet, no matter how quietly he listened, or how deeply he delved into the meditative trance, the anticipated enlightenment did not come. No whispers reached his ears, only the rustling of leaves stirred by the wind. One afternoon, an old woman approached Jiro, her gait slow but steady, bearing a pot of jasmine tea. She had observed him from afar since the beginning of his quest. With a gentle smile, she spoke, "Young monk, what wisdom do you seek from the tree that keeps you anchored here so?" Jiro opened his eyes, looked at the kind old woman and replied, "Respected elder, I came to hear the wisdom of the Whispering Tree, for I believed it would grant me the answers to the mysteries of life and true enlightenment." The woman nodded thoughtfully, setting the tea beside him, and then sat next to Jiro. "And has the tree spoken to you yet?" she inquired. "No," Jiro admitted, his voice tinged with frustration. "I have not heard a single whisper. I am beginning to doubt if the tree holds any wisdom at all." She chuckled softly, pouring the tea into 2 cups. "Perhaps," she started, handing him a cup, "the tree has already spoken, but not in the way you expected." Jiro, perplexed, took the cup and sipped the warm tea. It felt comforting as the aromatic flavors melded with the mountain air. "Patience and presence are also forms of wisdom, young monk," the old woman continued. "In seeking the whispers, you have learned to still your mind, listen more attentively, and observe the world with a quiet mind. Sometimes the greatest insights come not from the words spoken, but from the silence in between." As Jiro contemplated her words, a gentle breeze swept through the leaves of the tree. This time he did not strive to listen. Instead, he simply allowed the sounds to wash over him, realizing that the essence of the tree's wisdom was in the very act of his unwavering dedication, patience, and moment-to-moment awareness. With a heart filled with gratitude, Jiro bowed to the old woman, who smiled knowingly. She had been the village's keeper of wisdom, often underestimated but deeply revered by those who understood that wisdom often came in unassuming forms. Jiro, enlightened not by the whispers, but by the understanding of his own journey towards inner silence and presence, eventually returned to the monastery. He carried with him a new perspective, that enlightenment was not a destination, but a path made vivid and vital through the experience of living attentively and compassionately in each moment. And so the Whispering Tree continued to stand, its leaves rustling with the secret that wisdom was not always something to be heard, but often something to be experienced.